This is Agenda Awani with me, Nala Huda. Despite easing the total blockade on humanitarian aid into the Palestinian territory, we're still seeing the death toll in Gaza continue to add up. And despite Israel begin allowing limited goods into Palestinian territory, humanitarian groups are still facing significant challenges in delivering aid, either due to insecurity or coordination issues. So on Agenda Awani at this hour, we want to get a better understanding of what's actually going on the ground with humanitarian efforts. So we're very honored to be joined by Sheikh Dr. Shadi Zaza, Chairman and Founder of Rahma Worldwide. Rahma Worldwide is one of, if not the first American relief organizations to conduct consecutive medical missions to Gaza and one of the few NGOs allowed to bring in medical supplies and doctors even when faced with a major blockade. And since the war broke out, Sheikh Shadi has been in and out of Gaza 5 times now, and at home he's also the Grand Imam of the Franklin Grand Mosque. We're very happy to have you join us today. I did read that your organization, Rahma Worldwide, started all the way back in 2014 with just $200, and now your team has served, I believe, over tens of millions of beneficiaries with an annual budget exceeding tens of millions of dollars as well. Can you tell us a little bit of the story of how Rahma Worldwide started and came to be?
I arrived to the US in 2009 as an imam. In 2011, the Syrian revolution started, and I started working voluntarily with the organizations already exist in America to be able to help my country. In 2014, we saw that the problem will be for long. It's not going to be short as we expected. Yeah. So me and a group of volunteers, we decided to found Rahma. $200 in the Bank of America at that time. It was started, and people look at me saying like, what you are doing, you know. There is like organization have 20 years old, and I said like, this is what I can do. This $200 become $500,000 in the first year, then $3.5 million in the second year, $7 million in the third year, and we kept going up and up and up. We moved from helping Syrian to helping Yemeni. In Yemen in 2016, we opened our office in Gaza in 2017, and now the organization exists in 20 countries around the world. Wow. This is
that's an impressive journey, yeah, from just $200. And I believe Rahma Worldwide was also the first American relief organizations to set up and conduct consecutive medical missions to Gaza. Of course,
after the war.
After the war, yes. And this has involved over 300 doctors. What does this mean to you, representing American civil society and perhaps just international civil society at large, right, in Gaza?
Two messages. Number one, American people have sympathy, and they are moved to help humanitarian, and that's nothing to do with the politics side. And we have a duty as Muslims coming from Middle East to America, and the Americans themselves, they want to work with us. They encourage us to provide humanitarian, and they're helping us a lot. The second message, that we're not gonna leave our cases, our people. We're gonna support them with any possible way that we can. And this is why Rahma opened offices in Gaza and in major conflict zone and war zone. We were very good in doing emergency response. As of the recent war taking place in Gaza, we were the first organization to send medical missions equipped with medicine, medical equipment, anything possible from Egypt at that time. And after the crossing of Rafah from Egypt to Gaza, we are working from Jordan, sending also medical mission. The medical mission number 35 just entered Gaza 3 days ago. and more than 571 doctors entered and serve. Spend a lot of hours in the hospitals and helping saving lives of the Gaza people in this very critical time.
Yeah, you mentioned having the support of the American people, that community support, and oftentimes what we're seeing in media, in social media as well, this can be easily portrayed as a political or even a religious issue, right? But it's all of that and more than that as well. It's at the heart of it a humanitarian issue, isn't it?
Humanity make us united. Politics make us divided. And Rahma vision that focusing on what make us united. And we have the shared identity that we have a human right, and we need to focus on helping the women, the kids, saving the future, because this is the only way that we make a change in the future of our nation and on this earth. And this is the message that we have. And mosques, churches, a lot of culture center from everywhere hosting us, supporting, donating to us. And we've been very good in documents and show really the donation arrived to where intended to be sent. And through this message, we made a lot of connection, network supporting, raising awareness. People want to know about Gaza, what is the real story behind this, why there is a fight. And we showing, by doing our work, we are showing the real case and the deep story on what's happening inside Gaza.
Yeah, no, it's really inspiring to see the sort of support, the traction that it's gained in American society. Now, extending to even cultural areas, we're seeing reports of Miss Rachel, a very famous teacher on YouTube that's teaching kids. She's also showing support, so it's very inspiring really to see what it's become.
We believe when American doctor went with us to Gaza to see in his own eyes what is happening there and come back to US, that might be more effective in defending and showing the real story, you know, in America. And I know many doctors who went in medical mission, they went back to do advocacy work about what they are witnessed in Gaza and give the clear picture of the conflict on the ground. And this is really achievement, I believe, because not a lot of media focusing and showing what's happening and taking place in that conflict.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's really what we're seeing all the time, right? People who come in and out of Gaza, they come out a different person. For you yourself, you've been in and out just, I think, over 5 times now since the recent war. What do you think has changed? What hasn't, from your first visit to the most recent?
Unfortunately, 75% from Gaza demolished. The destruction behind the belief. I remember the first time I went in January 2024. My last trip was in before Ramadan, last Ramadan this year. The amount of destruction is really horrible, but the people and how they are holding on the ground. Saying we either live here or die here. And this is the Palestinian because they believe in their cause. They believe they have the right to live. They have a true and inspiration related to their land. They believe that this is a blessing land and they will not give it up. And it's really amazing when you see someone who lost 39 person from his family, and he is really held on his home, and saying, I'm going to stay here no matter what. I believe God wants us to see a real example of patient people, as-sabirin we call it. And this is really make us look at them as heroes. And we will continue taking care of these people, standing with them, representing the case in a very high professional way, and make the generation get to know. Our kids in US, they are searching to find out what is really the story of Palestine, which is something make us really like, how come those who live in America, born in America, they don't know anything about the case, but now they are very curious to know what is the real story, and to make them understand, and they stood strong with the Palestinian land and Palestinian case.
Yeah, no, their resilience is something we can all look up to and admire. Just going into your time there, either just recently or throughout the years, what has stayed with you to this day? What sort of perhaps powerful or impactful image that comes to mind when you're talking about Gaza?
I was visiting one of the hospitals, and I visit one who was injured from bombing, and he lost his leg. And I asked him, how you do? And he was smiling and saying, I'm not mad, because I believe this part of my body went ahead of me to Jannah. And that's really, for me, it's like, what is this? You know, how people think about losing their life, sacrificing everything they have, and they still insist to continue. And the inspiration, the charge that you have from them. You go there, you feel mad because of what happened. You come back with this spiritual feeling that, oh my God, those people are different than us. Because a human being, when he believes in his case, he believes on what he has, that he has a right to live, become strong no matter what. Not all the bombing or strike can make him weak or change his perspective of life. And this is what makes me amazed about the people of Gaza.
Yeah, I can't imagine the sort of emotional or mental toll it has on you and your team when you're there. But we also want to understand the sort of more physical, logistical challenges that you also face, Rahma Worldwide, your team face when trying to deliver aid into Gaza, because, you know, we're obviously hearing there's still challenges on the ground when delivering this humanitarian aid. What is it actually like?
We went through a lot during this war, but the recent situation that only 12 organizations, INGOs, been approved to work inside Gaza. 5 of them, all are Americans, can have their own distribution point inside Gaza. Rahma, one of them, and we are the only Muslim organization working and having their own distribution point. We have team increased 40 members with the volunteers, maybe past 100, and we get permission to send 20 containers every day to purchase from inside the Palestinian territory, the West Bank, Jerusalem, the land of 48, and then deliver it within 48 hours to inside Gaza. The Israeli propaganda using that and marketing that no organization can work, and this affect the donors and the one who really want to send aid. But we are here to say, no, we have access, we have permission. We are US-based organization, and we've been able to achieve a lot. more than 3,371 containers we delivered since October 2023 till now. 35 medical missions, as I mentioned, and a lot of medical equipment, medicine, and we need to keep doing this. We cannot work alone, so we need the help of everyone. We were in Indonesia last week, and we get a lot of support, and hopefully here in Malaysia we're gonna continue to encourage everyone and let them know about our existence and our mission and what we can do to help the people of Gaza.
What is it actually that you guys need that's still lacking? I mean, you say there's a lot of, these logistical mechanisms are already in place, but what's still lacking?
So the problem is now we only allowed to purchase from inside Palestine. We have a lot of aid in Egypt, we have a lot of aid in Jordan, but they are not allowing us to bring out from other countries. The only way that we have to purchase from inside Palestine. So we need help, because if we couldn't secure a fund to be able to send 20 containers every day, those minus containers will affect the life of people in Gaza. At the same time, the 20 containers will be count on them. So this is very important that we can find a lot of partners can help us in this very critical time to send as much as we can to inside Gaza.
You mentioned there's obviously propaganda. There's a lot of confusion about what's actually happening. What do you think is the biggest misconception, myth about what actually is happening on the ground?
Misconception when organizations sending aid from outside and they are document the aid and claim that the aid arrived to Gaza, but it's really, actually it is on Al-Arish from Egypt side.
Right.
That's great confusion. So this is not an aid arrived to Gaza. It's on the border. So we want other partners to be aware that if you have the right channel, you can still deliver the aid. And I am calling upon all organizations that we can help them when we have the door open for us to deliver from Egypt, from Jordan, because we work in this way. And it's about time that we can gain access again to be delivered from outside Palestine. It's very important that to work with the right people, because today any misinformation will confuse, and the one who paying price of that, the child who is waiting the aid inside Gaza.
Yeah. To, I guess, help demystify some of these misconceptions, can you walk us through what a typical medical mission actually looks like, from assembling the team, from the planning, to actually crossing the borders and to deliver aid to those in need?
So we have a special department in US, Dr. Farashin. She is the one who lead that department. She is the head of medical mission, and she is the one who receive all applications from all doctors around the world, and then put in each medical mission the specialties needed and put the priority in these specialties, and then put it together in one list, send it for approval. There is a security check should be done before they arrive to Amman, from Amman to the bridge of King Hussein, then to Karam Shalom, the border of Gaza, and then they have to spend 2 weeks inside Gaza and then come out.
That's a long
Very
process, yeah.
It is long process.
Now, we have just about a few minutes left, and I hope it's okay if we get a little bit personal. I think our audience would like to get to know you as well. But, you know, you mentioned a lot about the sort of emotional, the mental aspect of actually being there. And, you know, you're both, you know, not just a humanitarian leader, you're also a religious figure, of course. How do you, I guess, sort of reconcile this moral, this emotional weight of the pain and the suffering that you witness? How do you go to sleep at night, basically?
Like, I am now 3 weeks away from home, from country to another, to secure opportunities of partnership. And this is make me really miss my 4 kids and my wife back in US. But I always telling them that you need to understand that we have bigger mission in life, and not a lot of people can do this job. And maybe God wants me to do this type of work, and you are sharing with me the same reward. Being connected to Gaza and hearing from your team every day a lot of stories, a lot of challenges, it's really make you live there. So your body out of Gaza, but your heart is there. But by the achievement you have, you feel that you make a change. And this change give you feel of happiness, that I'm trying to help as much as I could, and this will make your life different. And it will ease the difficulties, the challenges, a lot of, you know, sadness sometimes we have because of the news, because of what we are saying. There is silence in the world about this genocide, and that make us feel responsible and serious about the work that we are trying to provide and help and support inside the Gaza.
As you mentioned, Rahma Worldwide also has some presence in Syria.
Yes.
And of course, what we're witnessing in Syria these past few months has, I guess, become a beacon of hope in the region, right? For sure. What are your thoughts on that? And what do you think about what we can expect from the region?
I want to mention a very interesting story related to Gaza and Syria. At the day when the Syria get the victory, and people announced Syria is free now from the dictatorship. I was in my way from Detroit to Istanbul to enter Gaza on that trip. So my staff calling me, they said, Syria is free, are you going to like change your schedule? I said, no, I have to go to Gaza and keep everything on schedule, but maybe after I finish Gaza, I will go to Syria. When I entered Gaza, I saw people of Gaza very happy. They're really happy. And I said, like, why you are happy? You still live in the war. What's going on? They said, we are happy for Syria. And we believe that our victory will come from Sham, from Damascus. So seeing Syria change now, it's a big thing for us. And, you know, it's one country at the end. It's very close to each other. So the cause is one, you know. And now I'm leaving from Kuala Lumpur to Istanbul, then Syria. We have a conference in Syria for early recovery projects. We invited all partners that we are working with them around the globe to come to Syria and help us rebuilding the country. So I believe that there is hope, there is a lot of changes, and we need our brothers and sisters from everywhere to come and have a share of the achievement and reward building the future of this nation.
No, that's very inspiring to hear, and obviously it's been a beacon of hope really to see what's happened in Syria, and I'm sure for the people of Gaza they can also share in that sort of enthusiasm. We're coming to the end of the show now, but on that optimistic and positive note, what is your hope, both for the people of Gaza, for the entire region at large, and for the global community, and how they choose to respond moving forward?
I was the first one who made the trip from Gaza to Damascus. And I believe this is the hope I have, that one day we're going to see no border in our way, and we become one nation, that become one hand. Nothing make us divided, and focusing on what make us one nation in humanity, sharing the value and the real meaning living together on this earth.
For a region that's been marred with so much conflict for so long now, it's, I think, what the entire global community is looking forward to. Peace and unity in the region. I guess we'd like to end on that note. Thank you so much for sharing, Sheikh Shadi, and thank you so much for joining us today. That's all that we have on Agenda Awani. With me, Nala Huda. We'll catch you another time.